So you've been scouring the almighty algorithm, and to your surprise, you click on a video that claims to give you the goods on what it's like when you've discovered you have in-laws who are from an old money family. You see, the truth is this, friends. If you're contemplating marriage into old money, brace yourself for a riveting dive into a unique universe of paradoxes. A lifestyle steeped in both heart-stopping generosity and soul-searching suspicion. A world filled with comforting pastimes yet stringent decorum. In a place where wealth isn't merely calculated in the number of dollars someone has, but equally measured in the amount of social connections and problems solved they can fix in a hurry. Here in your new old money family life, a phone call can unlock doors. But your personal life goals and career aspirations might be thrown to the wayside. As you prepare to negotiate this complex web of old money, get ready to redefine your notions of wealth, family, and social hierarchies. In today's episode of Old Money Luxury, we'll give you the comprehensive good, bad, and ugly on what it's like to have old money in-laws by doling out 5 positive aspects and 5 negative aspects of marrying into old money. Now, marrying into old money is a fascinating journey into an exclusive world filled with intriguing unwritten rules and expectations. Indeed, you may find yourself in situations that defy conventional wisdom. Firstly, it's not unusual to experience a level of perceived generosity that may initially seem overwhelming, especially if you do not come from this particular social stratum. Imagine receiving an emergency credit card from a newly minted in-law family member carrying a credit line in the tens of, if not hundreds of thousands. This is less about rich people egotism and lavishness, but more about ensuring all eventualities are covered. Now that you are part of their family and your health and security are paramount to their dynasty as well, deploying their extensive resources to cover any contingencies will be taken as a given. These families often view wealth not as a personal asset, but as a means to foster collective well-being and growth. Even as a brand new in-law, your debts such as student loans and credit cards may be casually paid off by your new old money family, not as a grand gesture, but as an acknowledgement of your shared financial destinies. Additionally, regarding discretionary purchases, quality often trumps cost in this sphere. Should a household appliance fail, you may be encouraged to replace it with the best, and thus most expensive, item available, not because money is no object, but because the emphasis is on long-lasting quality and value. Perhaps the most surprising revelation may be the character of the individuals within this elite circle. Contrary to the internet narratives of the cold, uncaring wealthy, people who marry into old money often find their in-laws to be empathetic, charitable, and kind-hearted. Thus, marrying into old money not only has the potential to transform your financial landscape, but can also revolutionize your perceptions, ambitions, and approach to life. Remember, this unique world, while different, isn't devoid of human warmth and values, an understanding that can guide anyone venturing into this realm. However, there is a flip side in the possibility of interacting with extreme generosity at the hands of your new, old money in-laws. Although they may be extremely generous with specific items such as helping with debts or providing a strong cushion against temporary dangers, you may not be fully included in the larger trusts, long-term assets, or even personal housing purchases that directly affect your personal life due to the family's concerns about if you've joined their clan for the right reasons, so to speak. Which brings us to number 2. Marrying into old money may, at times, invite behaviors that seem to question your motives, even appearing to trigger a degree of paranoia. In other words, you may be suspected of being attracted to the family's wealth, rather than your spouse's heart, despite it being evident to those around that such concerns are unfounded. Often this may not be an overt statement or question by the matriarch or patriarch of the family. It may simply hinted at by the level of information, even about your own children or lifestyle, that you are privy to. Although this is not as common as you might think, it is indeed a double-edged sword where you may be invited into the family, lavished with shocking levels of certain types of generosity, become the parent of their grandchildren, and yet never feel like you have any actual knowledge of how much money is being saved for your children, how many assets are being preserved in their name, and so on. Alternatively, the main wealth holders and heads of household for the family dynasty may be the paragons of etiquette and virtue, while the next in line or tangential family members may be the ones giving you subtle amounts of ire at functions. These dynamics can be quite frustrating for you, as you are not sure if you are being gaslit by the whole group, or if you're simply overthinking it, and indeed shouldn't be entitled to know about the trust and other code words. The truth is, quite naturally, in such circles, it's not uncommon for families to consult lawyers to safeguard their wealth. The prospect of divorce might prompt a review of claims on assets, such as houses, cars, and other possessions. It's a practical measure, reflecting the need to protect generational wealth from potential disputes. Additionally, you often might observe a certain reserve among old money families when it comes to discussing their lineage. There might be hesitancy in sharing details about immediate or extended family members, reflecting a cautious stance towards prying questions about the sources of their wealth, their social standing, or their privileged circumstances. As a rule of thumb, most new members to old money families avoid probing about their family unless they open up about it. When they start sharing voluntarily, it's a sign of their comfort and trust. And how do you build that comfort and trust? Where are the places you'll find yourself where you'll get real quality time with your new family? Let us illuminate this information in number 3. Marrying into old money often means entering a world where old-school hobbies and pursuits hold sway. It might surprise you to find that sports like squash, sailing, tennis, fencing, and equestrian events are common fixtures in their social calendar. Furthermore, there might be an implicit expectation of being accomplished in at least one such sport, particularly if one attended an elite school. Additionally, exposure to high culture may also become a routine part of your life. Family nights could involve visiting the opera, attending children's performances in orchestras, choirs, or ballet. Holidays are often bespoke adventures rather than pre-packaged deals, with family skiing trips or safaris being more the norm. The concept of home might expand to include more than one property, both within the country and internationally. A family residence in a metropolitan hub, a country house in a pastoral idyll, and a vacation home in a sun-drenched foreign locale might all be part of the equation. In such households, you may find a small cadre of domestic staff, from maids and gardeners to cooks, butlers, or nannies. And, when the family children aren't at boarding schools, private tutors might often visit the house to assist them with various subjects. In essence, life in the old money circle can be a carousel of traditional hobbies, cultural engagements, expansive property portfolios, and a slightly formalized domesticity. The key is to adapt to these unwritten rules and to appreciate the distinct rhythm of this unique lifestyle, which of course may be quite difficult for those who are not used to the etiquette and pacing of the old money world, which we shall now explore. As you might have expected, marrying into old money commonly immerses you in a world steeped in tradition, formality, and etiquette. You may find yourself navigating a labyrinth of social customs that many people have long since abandoned. There will be the small yet significant matters such as the church or synagogue you attend, your fashion choices, and the way you conduct yourself at social events. You see, attention to detail is paramount, from the decorum displayed at social gatherings to the precise etiquette of tipping. This can be extremely overwhelming and tiring for those new to this level of sensitivity around hyper-specific social niceties. Even more shockingly, you may learn of family members who are no longer invited to social events or gatherings due to what you would perceive as a surprisingly innocuous social faux pas. However, when things are good, your correspondence within the family may take on an old-world charm with handwritten invitations to dinners and events. You might discover the importance of expressing gratitude through handwritten thank you notes for all gifts received, irrespective of their monetary value. A surprise may lie in the realization that such courtesies extend equally to everyone, obliterating any perceived class boundaries. You might be struck by the adherence to traditions such as elaborate dinner parties where the special crockery and multiple sets of cutlery are laid out, reserved only for special occasions. Often, gatherings aren't merely about relaxation, but are punctuated by intensive social activities like cigar lounge meetups, garden croquet, musical recitals, or couples card games like bridge. These additionally can be quite grating and, frankly, exhausting if you are new to the social hierarchy and subtle code words of old money being thrown around. If you're interested in learning more about those code words within the secret language of old money, click the video on screen in the top right-hand corner to watch our guide on the phrases and subtle behaviors of old money to get caught up to speed. However, once you're clued into the code words and etiquette cues, you'll find that you've just entered into an endless world of social connections and possibilities that allow more opportunity than you can imagine. One of the defining aspects of marrying into an old money family is the intricate web of connections they possess. This is often more than a display of social standing. It represents a network of established relationships, providing access to opportunities, privileges, and assistance that are beyond the reach of others, even those with wealth. Now, this network often extends into a wide array of sectors. Old money families may have personal connections with eminent judges, influential bankers, or deans of prestigious universities. These links can often serve as conduits to backdoors, helping resolve issues or grant favors in ways that are discreet, swift, and efficient. Thus, you as a family member in this secret web of connections will likely be surprised how many of your everyday problems, whether that be issues with your child's schooling, financial concerns, or even legal disputes, seem to magically disappear with ease after a powerful member of your old money in-law family makes a call or two. Therefore, your new old money family may also have a cache of favors owed to them by others, a legacy of their long-standing influence and good relations. This library of favors, as it were, offers a powerful resource that can be tapped into when required, adding another dimension to their wealth. Then there are the social connections, forged through elite institutions like universities or exclusive clubs. Such ties to influential personalities or other old money families further enrich their social capital. It's a strong symbol of the enduring power of old money, where wealth is not merely financial, but extends into spheres of influence and connections. As such, marrying into old money is not merely about navigating wealth, but also about understanding and becoming part of this complex web of relationships. However, navigating the intricate dynamics of decision-making and lifestyle within the sphere of old money, particularly if you're marrying into it, can be a complex endeavor. As the substantial wealth in these circles is often intergenerational, fortified by legal safety nets such as prenuptial agreements, major financial decisions, like procuring a new house or designing lavish vacations, tend to remain within the jurisdiction of the primary wealth holder. This might leave you grappling with a disconcerting feeling of being progressively estranged from your own life trajectory, as well as the future paths of your children. Moreover, you may find your career aspirations undervalued or entirely dismissed by your affluent family, who may not even contemplate the necessity of structured career planning. This dynamic is vividly illustrated in the first season of the HBO series White Lotus, wherein the character of Shane Patton, portrayed by Jake Lacey, emblematic of a lineage of generational wealth, marries Rachel Patton, a journalist from a different socio-economic background, played by Alexandra Daddario. Throughout the show, it's evident that Shane and his mother, Kitty, display little regard for Rachel's vocational pursuits or life choices. For instance, Kitty curtly dismisses Rachel's career ambitions, uttering, "Oh, but those jobs are so awful, honey. They make no money." This sentiment underlines a stark lack of empathy for Rachel's struggle to preserve her professional independence. Shane, in contrast, exhibits a degree of entitlement, prioritizing his own desires over Rachel's. Conversely, career pathways for the original family members originating from old money environments often don't adhere to conventional norms. Life funded by a trust or extensive family wealth often facilitates a more leisurely pace, not only for lifestyle but also career-wise. While higher education remains a common pursuit among old money descendants, it's not unusual for them to diverge from their fields of study in their work, yielding an abundance of leisure time. This freedom creates a life unshackled by the typical constraints of work or holiday schedules, sparking spontaneous trips or social visits. It also extends to their choice of social engagement, a life of privilege, complemented by a long-standing tradition of philanthropy, frequently spurs active involvement in charity work or non-profit projects. Interestingly, these commitments might not reflect their hobbies or career choices, but are driven more by a desire to give back or support causes close to their hearts. Similarly, on the positive side, old money family members will often place value on items of personal significance and generational worth, as opposed to the consumerist fleeting purchases of the new money, or the no-money crowds. With that said, delving into the world of old money reveals a certain ethos towards possessions, one that prizes preservation over replacement and values the charm of family heirlooms over the allure of brand new items. One insightful lesson from the wealthiest might be that everything is repairable. Discarding broken items is often seen as a sign of new or middling wealth. For instance, an experienced furniture restorer could find a thriving client base among the old money set. These individuals, rather than replacing an old item with a new one, prefer to entrust the restoration of treasured possessions to skilled professionals. This attitude extends to larger possessions like homes and cars. Maintaining an older home or vehicle in immaculate condition often serves as a point of pride for old money families. These items tell a story of their heritage, a testament to their continuity over the years. Furthermore, family heirlooms play a particularly significant role. An engagement ring, for example, is likely to be a valuable memento from a wealthy ancestor rather than a new, flashy purchase. While new money might celebrate a 16th birthday with brand new diamond studs, old money might bestow a cherished gold pendant that's been in the family for generations. In essence, old money's approach to wealth is characterized by a deep respect for heritage, an appreciation for the value of preservation, and a pride in the continuity of their lineage. It's a realm where wealth is not merely about accumulating new possessions, but cherishing and maintaining the old. One distinctive trait of old money circles is the ease with which they interact with domestic help. Servants, maids, or any domestic staff are often treated as a part of the household tapestry, with conversations of deeply personal matters conducted around them as if they're unseen. This level of comfort stems from a long history of familiarity and acceptance of household staff as an integral part of their everyday life. In contrast, middle-class families, perhaps hiring domestic help only occasionally, might exhibit a certain awkwardness while conversing in their presence. The act of adjusting to having someone else around their personal space, especially during intimate conversations or private moments, might not come as naturally. This difference in approach reflects the realities of everyday life in these diverse socio-economic worlds. Old money families, having grown accustomed to constant assistance and support, may not even realize the presence of their staff during regular activities or personal conversations. It's a stark illustration of how wealth and upbringing can shape our comfort zones, influencing even our interactions within the boundaries of our abodes. Thus, marrying into old money means not only adapting to the wealth and lifestyle, but also adjusting to the everyday dynamics of a household where staff are a constant presence. However, you might find that old money families harbor more respect for a middle-class family, or even the old money family's aforementioned domestic staff, that exhibits refined behavior and manners than a simply rich family that ostentatiously flaunts their wealth. Indeed, old money has a distinct approach towards wealth display. It's often understated, reflecting their security in their financial status and a deep-seated disdain for flashy ostentation. Nouveau riche individuals, eager to showcase their elevated status, might find themselves disapproved of or even ostracized in old money circles. Consider a scenario at a country club, a classic gathering place for the affluent. A family that's overly keen to exhibit their wealth, sporting ostentatious tans, driving flashy brand-new Mercedes-Benz vehicles, might find themselves on the receiving end of a cold shoulder. Despite their immense wealth, it's their behavior and approach to flaunting their prosperity that results in their social isolation. In essence, old money exudes a silent code of conduct that prizes modesty, decorum, and respect over conspicuous consumption. Being aware of this subtle yet significant distinction can be the key to navigating this intricate social landscape. It's a world where wealth whispers and good manners speak volumes. And last, the ugliest truth of it all, marrying into old money may reveal certain disparities that can be quite jarring. There can be an undeniable disconnect in understanding the value of money, and it's more than just an affinity for luxury. For those who've never known financial struggle, expenses are often not something that require much thought. High-end restaurants, designer clothes, and other lavish expenditures are not necessarily indulgences, but simply part of their normal life. They aren't flaunting their wealth, They just don't feel the need to save or hesitate before spending. However, this can lead to a lack of comprehension of the stresses that the less affluent face. Discussions of financial anxiety, like worrying about rent or the cost of a meal, might be met with sympathy, but rarely true understanding. They might generously offer to pay for a meal, but be puzzled when the worry doesn't instantly disappear. Because for those facing financial instability, there's always a next meal to worry about. Moreover, this disconnect might extend to other aspects of life. Advice to quit a job in an abusive work environment or to relax and travel during school terms might seem logical from their perspective, but can be impractical and even detrimental for those who depend on their income or scholarships. For old money, there's an ease with saying yes to opportunities and experiences when financial constraints aren't part of the equation. So, while marrying into old money brings a unique set of opportunities, it also comes with its own challenges in understanding and navigating this different relationship with wealth. And now, it's your turn to share your thoughts. We'd like to see you in the comments with your personal experiences if you've ever married into old money or extreme wealth. Or, alternatively, if you know someone who has. We absolutely adore interacting with our community, and we look forward to hearing what you have to say. As always, thank you for your continued viewership here at Old Money Luxury. Cheers, until next time.